Sure.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Heelcast. I'm Impact Dude, and this week I am joined by a guy I haven't been able to do the show with in quite some time. The master of all things wrestling related, the man himself, Hurls. Hurls, how's it going, bud?
Oh, man, it's going great. I just got to take all those bullets out of me from all the shots I was receiving 2 weeks ago on the Heelcast. But, we'll get to that a little later. But it is great to be back on the Heelcast. It's been way too long, my friend.
I'm kind of scared, and I'll tell you why, because I don't remember shots. I think I was on 2 weeks ago, and if shots were fired, I was probably firing them. So I'm probably going to get my comeuppance, folks, and I don't even see it coming because I don't remember what I did. I think that'll make it even more fun.
So, it wasn't you. It wasn't you. It might have been 3 weeks ago. It was the Redemption preview show, but
I didn't do that
get
show.
To that.
I didn't do that show, so there were probably shots taken at me then too. At least I hope so. It wouldn't be any fun if there weren't. I got to admit, Hurls, I was a little disappointed when you said it wasn't me.
Yeah, I know. I was kind of hoping it was you because that way we would have some mano-y-mano, but yeah, it's not happening.
I think that was a show where we had like 5 people on it, right?
Yeah, like everybody but us two were on.
Everybody but us two on it. Well, damn it, we're gonna get them. But hey, speaking of getting to them, let's hit our plugs. Of course, everybody should visit impactasylum.net. If you're not there, you should be there. The #1 site for Impact Wrestling fans, and really the only message board dedicated to Impact Wrestling fans. Of course, let's not forget our brother FK9. FK9's had some hard times, but he's coming back. He's coming back strong. Andre Corbeil, of course, the one-of-a-kind elite podcast, the Wrestling Perspective with P.D. Williams. Let's not forget our buddies over at the S&M podcast. I mean, what would the Heelcast be without Larkin, right?
Yeah.
And, of course, the guy that never stops giving back, the man himself, Robert from Robert Does Wrestling. Everybody loves Robert Does Wrestling. So if you guys aren't following those podcasts, go over, hit subscribe, and hook them up. But Hurls, we do these plugs. We always seem to forget to plug your Facebook page. Why don't you tell people how they can find your Facebook page? It's a great page.
Yeah, if you guys want to discuss anything wrestling, it's not just an Impact page. You can discuss whatever you want. My Facebook page, it's a group. It's called Wrestling Infinity. I believe it says Impact WWE ROH discussion. Like I said, it's Wrestling Infinity. It's a group on Facebook. Come join us. We have a bunch of different games we play. We do a pay-per-view pick'em for all different brands, including Impact. So come on board, and it's great discussion, and it's great to interact with all of you.
So how does that work? How do these pay-per-view pick'ems work, and how do you get points, and how do you always seem to win?
Well, WWE is pretty predictable, so, it doesn't take too much skill. But, yeah, basically what it is if there's 7 matches on a pay-per-view, it's basically like a confidence pick'em. So whatever match you're most confident in, you want to put 7 points on that match. And you can only use those points once. So you can't use like 7 twice or 7 3 times. You can only use the points once. So if you have a match where it's least confident, you want to probably put that at 1. One that you think could probably go either way and you're not that confident. So for all the matches that you get right, those are the points that you get.
So Roman Reigns for 7, Brock Lesnar for 6, right? John Cena for 5. I'm starting to figure, and I don't even watch their show.
Yeah, right. Like me either. I didn't watch this past pay-per-view, and somehow I ended up getting like a perfect score practically. So, you don't even have to watch it to do good.
That's awesome, and you can play that right on his Facebook page, and you keep points, right? So you like score this over several months. How does that work?
Basically, so every pay-per-view is, you get so many points. Like we had Redemption, we did one for the Greatest Royal Rumble, which had like 10 matches. So obviously there's a lot of points for the ones that have more matches on it. So afterwards, it's a cumulative. It'll add to your total score for that season. We go from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. That's one season.
Wow. So if you guys are interested in playing wrestling games, right, join the page, check it out, play the games along with the group. Everybody seems to have a blast doing it. I don't participate because I don't watch WWE, but who knows? Maybe I can prove their predictability. Maybe I'll jump in at some point.
You'd be amazed.
No, not really. But I will tell you what I will be amazed about, and that is our first news item tonight, Hurls. Global Wrestling Network is working with the WWE Network. So unless you have been under a rock for the past couple of days, Hurls, what in the hell are you doing?
I just got inside my house.
Oh, you just got inside your house. Sounds like did you break a window to get in?
Almost. My killer dog is, she had to jump all over me, so. We're good now, though. We are good. We are ready to rock in my normal position.
I
do not mean sexual.
I do not want to hear that you're ready to rock position. What I do want to talk about at some point, though, is the fact that unless you've been living under a rock for the last couple of days, the WWE Network, they basically posted clips of AJ Styles and Kurt Angle, if I'm correct. And at the end, they basically showed a screen that says, if you want to see more, go over to Global Wrestling Network. I believe that's the first ever advertisement on the WWE Network. Is that right?
Well, I mean, there's been, I believe AJ Styles was on Stone Cold's podcast. He did mention TNA. As far as the, the GWN, it is the first time on the network. They did do some stuff for the Hardy Boys DVD as well. So, but yes, you are correct with that. GWN being on the WWE Network the first time, yes.
So for all the folks that are saying that there is no way Ring of Honor will ever work with Impact Wrestling, WWE is working with Impact Wrestling. Let that sink in. This is definitely Eddie Edwards' time. Anything is possible here in 2018 with this new regime. This would never happen under Dixie Carter, would it, Hurls?
Oh, no. And, I don't care, if you don't like Ed Nordholm or not, this guy's doing some great things. Dixie Carter would have never even thought of something like this. She was always basically trying to go head-to-head with WWE.
Yeah, and it makes no sense at all. Now, from there, we go to a guy that everybody knew was leaving Impact Wrestling, but I heard he was headed to NXT. Instead, Taiji Ishimori headed to New Japan and was revealed as the Bone Soldier. And Hurls, you're never going to guess this, but he was introduced as a member of the Bullet Club. For real. They have a new member, yet another member of the Bullet Club.
Yeah, it seems kind of like a lot of ex-Impact wrestlers somehow end up in the Bullet Club. It's kind of funny how that works.
I kind of feel like everybody winds up in the Bullet Club. I feel like, they're going to introduce, you and Raven Effect as the next tag team in the Bullet Club at some point. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, money talks, my friend.
Hey, I'm telling you, if New Japan wanted to bring me over there and put me in the Bullet Club, I'd do it. That shit's cool as hell. But, congratulations to Taiji Ishimori. He's going to get a lot more exposure over in Japan, his native country. And the kid's just a class act and a heck of a wrestler. So congratulations to Taiji Ishimori. And congratulations, quite frankly, to New Japan Pro Wrestling, because they got a great talent in Taiji Ishimori. Now,
he's awesome.
Now, speaking of great talents, and you and I were talking about this just a couple minutes before we went on air, Hurls. Ivelisse has revealed that apparently Impact Wrestling has showed no interest in her whatsoever. According to her, she told she said in an interview recently, she said that they've not asked her, and she's trying to figure out why. She doesn't know why they won't ask her. All she knows is that she's going to keep doing her thing, and that she has asked Lucha Underground about that relationship between them and Impact Wrestling. So, Hurls, you have some theories on why they may not have asked her? Thoughts? Would you like to share with the listeners?
Yeah, kind of goes far back to her WWE developmental days. She got released because of a backstage attitude. It was she was kind of, let's just say, a firecracker backstage. I guess she's had issues in the past, and she apparently got into a scuffle with Jack Evans. I don't know what it entailed, but I do know that Jack Evans is leaving the company because of it. She was also in Impact, like, for a very brief minute there. She had a gut check match on Impact, and they also brought her in for some one-night-only tapings. But Impact, for whatever reason, didn't sign her. So I don't know. Maybe it's because of the fact that, you know, she might not have the greatest attitude backstage. I don't want to say that's for sure.
Hurls, are you there? We lost Hurls. You know, it could... Hurls, you there? You broke up, man.
Okay.
You broke up. All I know is you were talking about backstage, and it was like poof, poof. You were gone with the wind, my friend.
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, no, I was just saying that she's had some backstage altercations with a few people. I know in Lucha Underground she had a scuffle with Jack Evans, and that's why Jack Evans is no longer in the company anymore. So she had a couple of stints in TNA. They were real quick. One for gut check, one for she had one night only taping. She was in the Aces and Eights. So I don't know. It might be a case where, you know, some of those backstage reports about her attitude are possibly coming true. So maybe that's why Impact just, you know, they want to play the safe route and not take a chance on her. Unfortunately, she's a great talent. So I think they should, but I guess we don't really know the full story there.
She's an amazing talent. I mean, she goes head to head with the men, and, you know, they did just sign somebody, right? Tessa Blanchard, that also has a bit of a checkered past in the back. So who knows? Maybe Lucha Underground's folks said, you know, Jack quit. We're not happy that Jack quit. And, you know, she could be a problem. I don't know, but I'll tell you, as far as talent's concerned, with all the folks they have on the sideline right now, she would be a great one to add to the knockouts. Now,
oh, definitely.
Now, speaking of the knockouts and sidelines, right? It has been revealed that Rosemary indeed did tear her ACL. Okay, that apparently P.D. Williams came out and said that her injury with Jessica Havoc back in February was actually an ACL tear, and she's kind of toughed it out to this point. And wrestled. She wrestled a match with Crazy Steve for TNT Wrestling, and then she had the match with Sue Young. So she's been very limited since February, and looks like she's going to go under the knife, and that would put her out, Hurls, for the remainder of the year.
Yeah, that's too bad. I mean, especially, you know, when they brought in Sue Young, and you know, you could have done a lot of cool stuff with them too. That's just unfortunate.
Yeah, well, you know, look, thoughts and prayers go out to her for, you know, a speedy recovery. I'll tell you, I think that she'll be just fine. She'll recover from it. I hope that she doesn't come back too soon. You have a tendency with that particular surgery to think you can do more than you can. I know because I had it, and my doctor was terrified that I was going to be the one that was going to re-injure myself because I felt good. And the truth is that it takes a full year to heal. The one thing she has going for with pro wrestling is that she can control what she does next. And she can just avoid spots that are putting too much pressure on it. And basically it's that lateral when you go to twist the knee that you really have to watch out for. As long as she stays straight on the knee and just does things to protect herself staying straight on that particular knee, she could easily be back, you know, and wrestling again. And you might not even realize that she's in limited form. You know what I'm saying? Sooner
right.
than later. So let's hope for that. Let's hope that everything goes well, and that she has the surgery sooner than later and it's successful.
Well, and let's not, you know, we're Impact fans. We've obviously dealt with this with some other wrestlers. Chris Sabin twice, Davey Richards. So yeah, I mean, it's nothing to fool around with, and it's probably one of the worst injuries you can get, minus something in your neck, you know. So it sucks, but we pray that she has a great speedy recovery.
Yeah, and no setbacks, with it either. That's the part that would really, really stink. I mean, look, she's 34 years old now. She probably won't wrestle till she's 35. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at that and you look at where her career's gone the past couple of years, a setback like this is just crushing. But I'll tell you, she's handled everything with class. She's done what she needs to do, what she can do. So let's just, get her back to 100% and have her rise from the dead, like a demon that she is. And yeah, that would just be amazing. Now,
oh, definitely.
Speaking of surviving, I understand that we now know where Johnny Impact's been. Kind of missed him this last set of tapings. Hurls like to fill people in on where Johnny Impact is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all kind of thought it was odd that Johnny Impact was not used at Redemption or any of the tapings. But it came out today that Johnny Impact is going to be on the next season of Survivor, which is going to be Survivor 37, I believe, already. So that's going to be very, very interesting. One of the things you have to realize with Impact, with them being on Pop TV, is Pop TV is owned by CBS. CBS is the station that airs Survivor and Amazing Race. There were reports that James Storm was going to be on Amazing Race 29 a couple years back, but he did not make the final cut. So I think there's a lot of connections with those reality shows, and let's not forget Big Brother. CBS also owns them, and the whole Jesse Goddard's thing. So, it's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to watch because I'm going to see how Johnny Impact does. I'm not really a huge fan of Survivor. I'm more of the Amazing Race fan, but I'm definitely going to be watching just because Johnny Impact's going to be on.
And let's not forget, of course, Robbie E. and Brooke Tessmacher actually were on the Amazing Race. And and I got to tell you, I saw a commercial for Survivor. I don't know, it was a finale or whatnot, a couple weeks ago, within the last couple weeks. And I said to Dudette, I can't believe people still watch that show. It's still on the air, and Hurls now we're going to be watching at least until Johnny's eliminated, So with my luck, he'll come down to like the final 4, and I'll have to watch every damn episode. And by that point, I actually want to know who wins.
Right.
So Johnny, I hope you did us a favor. I hope you either won the damn show, but not be kicked ass, or you were just lazy and got your ass kicked off, so I don't have to watch and suffer through an entire season of Survivor 37. Now, I do have a question for you. This came up today on the Heelcast private chat room.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And Raven Effect wanted to know, because we have a league, for those of you that are unaware, where we have a fantasy league for Impact Wrestling. If Griggs, who happens to have Johnny Impact in the league, will get points if Johnny Impact wins Survivor. Now, Chef hated the idea. Chef is like, you give him nothing. Chef's basically like, shoot the son of a bitch. He gets nothing, okay? I think he should get, like, a point for every week that he lasts, like physical week, which should be, like, 2 weeks on the show. What you got for us? What are you doing about this?
Well, under consideration, that is a really good idea, and I think Chef needs to lighten up a little bit. I think Johnny Impact's out there, in the jungle or wherever they're going this upcoming season, not being able to eat,
or bang Taya. That's got to count for something.
Right.
It's got to count for something.
Right. Yeah, I agree. I think he should get something. That's the least us at the Heelcast could do.
I think it should only count, right, if Griggs is 1-on-1 against Chef. Maybe he gets double points if he's against Chef.
That's a brilliant idea. So just the week that Griggs plays Chef, the points will count.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll be at the Survivor finale
that he
plays. So I think he should get 37 points since it's Survivor 37.
Oh, I like that. He just gets it on. I think he should just automatically win the league if Johnny wins Survivor. It's just, everybody just step aside. Griggs got this.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, look at the publicity and the promotion that Impact would get from that. So I think that's a fair trade in my book.
I think so too. And I gotta tell you, you say Chef needs to lighten up, but our boy Raven Effect is taking this shit way too seriously. Folks, just so you know, Raven Effect was watching the spoilers and trying to change his roster as we were watching the spoilers. And then he had the nerve to tell me that I would have done it if I'd have thought of it first. And I'm like, look, dumbass, Hurls was pretty clear. We can't change the teams during the spoilers. It's a freaking taped show.
Yeah, exactly. I made that specifically clear. There were only a few moments during the season where you could pick up free agents, and they were always right before the pay-per-views because you don't know, what's going to happen at that point. So, Ray, I see what Raven's doing. We see you.
Yeah, I think he was having some technical difficulties, kind of like this Saturday night show, right? Hashtag Pentadoes Iowa. They put on a show. It was a fun show. It was a lot of fun. And if you guys have not had the opportunity to watch one of these Twitch specials, I'm telling you, you got to do it. They are a blast to watch. It's like going down to your local gym and hanging out for the night. And we got chat rooms set up on Asylum. You can chat on Twitch. It's a fun show, but they had some issues. They really did, Hurls. And at one point, there was no sound, right? And the lighting, I mean, at one point they had wrestlers and you couldn't even tell who they were, It
was like a haunted house in there with all the black lighting. It
was well, and then also you had Rich Swann, right, who's a black guy as well, and Rich Swann comes up and he's facing the camera and you can't see him because it's a black light and he's a black fella and you just couldn't see him, and I'm like, here's this guy, he made a great ring entrance. Okay, I mean, he really catered to the crowd. He sung his song on the way into the ring, okay? He's given it 1,000,000%, and he gets to the ring, and all they want to do is just put a showcase on him, right? And it's like, nope, you're not there. He just put a drape in front of you, man. You don't even count. I felt so terrible for him. He sung his entrance song. It was great. It was a good song, too. What was the song again?
Did he do Lionel Richie all night?
Yes, Lionel Richie all night. I knew it was one of my favorite 80s songs.
Yes.
And he was so much fun on the entrance, and he gets to the end and they just screw it up. It's like, oh my God, poor Rich Swann. He just got screwed.
Yeah, dude, these Twitch shows have been a blast, and me and my buddy, we make it a destination television on Saturday whenever they have it, and it's just a fun time. These shows, you get to see things you do not get to see on Impact, the matches, the matchups. You get to see all this fresh new talent. It's just a fun time. It kind of reminds me a little bit of WCW Saturday Night. I just think Saturday Night Wrestling is a fun time. Friday's good too, but these Twitch shows have been just awesome. I've enjoyed every single one of them.
I mean, don't they kind of take you back to your roots when you were a kid and you would stay up on Saturday nights to watch professional wrestling?
Yes. Definitely. Exactly how it is. And just okay, you remember WCW Saturday Night. They were a bunch of guys you didn't see on Nitro all the time, and some of them had some really interesting gimmicks. Well, that's kind of how I feel we got Jake Manning, the Man Scout, that guy was hilarious.
Oh, he was fun.
Yeah. I mean, just all this different talent you see. It's just, a lot of the wrestling scene is really thriving out there. And, these venues, they're not the best looking, but, they got a special charm to them. The one they had this past Saturday, it was like a nightclub and it had a blue neon on top of the ceiling, So it was fun. It had issues, but it was a really fun show.
They all are. And folks, if you haven't had a chance to see guys like Jake Manning, he's just a fun character to watch. He doesn't take himself too seriously. He comes in dressed and acting like a Boy Scout. He brought a tent to the ring. For God's sakes, he pulled a kendo stick out of a tent. Okay, but it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was a Tommy Dreamer match. I mean, who doesn't do that in a Tommy Dreamer match, right?
Right.
It was a lot of fun, and they had some other guy. Who was that real big guy that everybody was rooting for to win, and they thanked him, and he took a bow at the end? Who was that?
Oh yeah, the name slips me at this point. But yeah, he got the crowd was really cheering for him in that scramble match.
So yeah, just you could tell the crowd really loved the guy. So if you haven't had a chance to watch this stuff, I can't stress to you enough. Watch it; they're fun. And quite frankly, I got to tell you, Sanjay Dutt was actually semi-entertaining on that show. He did a great job on that live show. He's come a long way. I've been very critical of him here on this show, but he has vastly improved. I mean, look, I'm still going to prefer Don Callis. That's my right, but Sanjay Dutt has actually really come a long way. So hats off to Sanjay Dutt too.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, and we've had Scott D'Amore on past ones, and he's done a really good job too. I've enjoyed the whole aspect of these shows they've been doing. And, another guy that really kind of shined on the pay-per-view is Zachary Wentz. Apparently he tag teams with Dezmond and Xavier as the Rascals. He's a guy like I would really like to see Impact sign and lock up to a deal because he was impressive to me.
He's a name that comes up on Asylum all the time, and it was so much fun to get to watch him and Dezmond Xavier do their thing, and that was a lot of fun, that match. Zach Wentz was awesome. I was super impressed with Rich Swann. I mean, you can tell that he has honed his character. Do you know what I'm saying? Was a bit turned off by the whole Sue Young incident, but I mean, watching the guy, he was great. And who was the guy that won that scramble match? He was so much fun on the pre-show. Why is his name dropping? He's got a cool name too.
The guy who won the scramble match?
Yeah, he was on the pre-show.
Oh. I thought it was Rich Swann who won the title, because wasn't it for a title?
Yeah, it was, but it was the no, Rich Swann did win the title. Who was the guy that was on the pre-show? You're right, Rich Swann did win. Yeah,
I know who you're talking about.
He was so much fun.
Yeah, there was a lot of. I mean, Shane Strickland was on it too. He was really entertaining as well.
Yeah, Shane Strickland was a blast to watch. Mm-hmm. So lots of great talent there. Definitely check it out. Now, last bit of news. Actually, there's a couple more things here, right? Alberto El Patron got his citizenship. Aren't we fortunate?
Oh boy. Well, it's good for him, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose so. Any rate, then Austin Aries is going to challenge for the Ring of Honor title this weekend, and he's going to take on my man, a guy I really like a lot, the last real man, Silas Young. What's your prediction on that one, Hurls?
I think now, is Silas Young, is he the heavyweight champion or the TV champion?
He's a TV champ.
Okay. I could see Aries winning that because, he already challenged Kenny King and came up unsuccessful. So Silas Young is a hell of a talent too. I mean, that guy's got some mic skills, and he's actually from where I'm from. So
did he challenge Kenny King? I thought he never had that match.
Did that match get canceled? Because I know they were supposed to wrestle.
I don't think he had that match.
Okay. Well, then I guess I could see Aries winning. I think Aries takes it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, only because Silas Young literally just won the belt. And he's been there for so long that, Austin Aries did drop the Impact title.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So, but, I do not know.
Goes along with the belt collector, Who knows, though? Did Silas Young, did he beat Kenny King for the TV title? Is that who he beat?
Yes, he beat Kenny King for the title.
Okay. Well, yeah, then you're probably right. But you never know. I mean, Austin Aries is such a big name. So
Hurls,
it's really tough to say.
Buddy, it was driving me nuts. It was Sugar Dunkerton. I had to look it up. That was the guy that just cracked me up from end to end.
Yes, Sugar Dunkerton. There were some reports too. He's been wrestling in Impact for on some Explosion matches too, I believe. So, I think you could possibly see some more Sugar Dunkerton. He's got a great gimmick, by the way.
I would love to see more Sugar Dunkerton. Get me some Sugar Dunkerton every day of the week. That was the guy that I liked the most. I like Jake Manning too. Probably could see too much Jake Manning though. I think I could watch Sugar Dunkerton every week. But we do watch Impact every week. And Hurls, we had a show this past Thursday night. And, overall, I'm going to say I don't think this set of tapings is shaking out to be as good as the last set.
I mean, I don't know. There's some things that I like, and some others where I just don't understand where they're going with. I don't know. It's kind of like a double-edged sword for me, but I mean, this Impact was interesting to say none the least. Definitely the ending for sure.
The ending was great.
Mm-hmm.
But in the beginning, we have this random matchup. KM and Fallah Bah, and I'm assuming this is because these guys are out of New Jersey and they're buddies, and they decide, hey, let's put them together and do something with them. Losing to OVE. Now, I like the fact that OVE actually got a win for a change, in part because I have them in our league, and apparently I won this week.
Highest scorer too, by the way.
I did. I had the highest score.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't realize that. I just saw I was 1-0. Do the points carry over from week to week, or just the win 2 losses?
Yeah, no, the points do carry over, and they will matter if you're in like a tie.
In a tie, okay. So good to know. Good to know. Shows you guys how serious I take this. It was a passable, plausible match, but it didn't really make a whole lot of sense to me.
I think the whole pairing of the two doesn't really make sense to me. I think it's kind of an audible because of the whole Tyra situation. Now, I didn't listen to your guys' show yet from last week, but I'm sure you guys probably talked about that. But the whole pairing just seems kind of odd, and the only thing I kind of get is they're both from the East Coast, and I don't really know where it's going. I don't know if it's like KM trying to gain his trust only to turn heel again. I don't know. Or is this going to be like a credible tag team? It's kind of doesn't really make sense to me right now. But it is good that the Chris won, because I feel like they were – I mean, yeah, they did win at Redemption. They did win on Penta Does Iowa. But I feel like before that they were kind of on a downward swing. So it is good to see that they are still players in the tag team division.
Yeah, that's good to see that they're still getting a little bit of a push. It's great that Sammy's getting built up, but it's nice that OVE's not getting destroyed along the way. Again, the only thing I can think of is that they're looking to build Fallah Bah versus KM. In my opinion, I think KM needs a little bit of character work done to him, and I think Fallah Bah probably needs to move up the card a little bit away from KM. So I'm not sure it's a good pairing for either one. But KM is definitely not going to work as a face, not today. And Fallah Bah is a heel. Dude, do you think he could actually be a heel?
Unless Mr. Fuji is walking out the door, I don't see it. And Yokozuna reference, sorry.
I love Mr. Fuji. I loved Mr. Fuji.
He was great. I mean, I don't think Fallah Bah can be a heel, but I mean, he's got to be taken more credible than he is right now, because he loses way too much, So they would definitely need to do an overhaul on his character. But is that what do you see that kind of like a role reversal here? Like Fallah Bah is going to turn heel while KM turns face? Is that where you see this going?
No, I just have a tough time seeing them as a tag team, because I don't think one can be a face and one can be a heel right now. I think they have to collide. That's what makes this so odd to me. Maybe they're just going to try to make KM out to be, kind of like the conniving heel that's trying to get Fallah Bah to trust him so he can turn on him. Either way, I mean, the match itself wasn't bad at all. They got their spots in. You know what I'm saying? We got a couple no-nos, and I got to tell you, when KM did the roll over OVE,
Yeah, that was fun. That was funny.
That was a laugh out loud moment. So you got some humor in there. That was funny. The next match, this match I thought was pretty well booked. And this is Kiera Hogan versus Taya, going to a no decision. I think this is well booked simply because I think it helped to push Kiera up the card a bit, right? But without hurting Taya any more than they've already hurt her the past couple weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. I think Kiera, she was just, this relative newcomer, and they call her the girl on fire, but we needed a reason why she's the girl on fire, and I actually think she showed some fight in this match, a little more than even her pay-per-view match. And I love the backstage segment between her and Tessa Blanchard. I thought that was really well done. Just basically calling her out, saying she's really good at sitting and watching. I thought that was pretty good. But I liked the dynamic of this feud that's starting to happen. I think it's a good introductory feud for Tessa Blanchard.
I think so too, and I also got to tell you, I think that we're starting to see, a lot of people are fans of Kiera Hogan, and I think it's just because she's cute but in reality, she's actually starting to show us something too, and she's hard not to like. I mean, she's got that nice girl next door type of look going on to her, but I love the backstage altercation. I love how Kiera doesn't back down. To Tessa. So to me, that was a lot of fun. And I think that they could actually build Kiera Hogan into something. And it looks like they're actually going to potentially, do just that.
Yeah, right. I mean, when Kiera was signed, I mean, it was just like, okay, cool. She was a fan of Impact for so long, but you didn't really have a lot of high expectations because we didn't really know what we were getting. But she is starting to show me something. And my God, does Tessa Blanchard just come off as a star already? And she hasn't even had a match. I mean, talk about second generation wrestler or third generation, whatever she is. But she comes off as a star, and she's got some really high quality music too. That definitely helps her. But yeah, what a great hire for Impact to get her.
Yeah, it really is, and she's definitely a star. And they Taya Valkyrie is a star. Rosemary is a star. Su Yung, she could be a big star. Allie is a star. You got a lot of gals all at the top of that card. That card is almost too stacked right now in the Knockouts division. And I haven't even mentioned Sienna.
Correct. I was just going to say.
So let that sink in. I kind of feel bad for somebody like Kiera Hogan who could wind up getting lost in the shuffle just because there's so much talent there kind of sitting in front of her. Now, sitting in front of us, speaking of stars, speaking of hype packages, the Brian Cage World Tour. Hurls, the guy's been with the company for what, 3 months? He's already got a world tour?
Yes, he does. And it just started this past week in Australia.
So what do you think about them using this GWN? It's a GWN exclusive match, but they kind of aired it on Impact, or at least part of it. Did they air the whole thing? I think it was just
pretty
part
much.
Of it. It seemed like it was a large portion.
Yeah, it was most of the match. They clipped a little bit, but I have the GWN. I don't even know where this match is located. That it was a GWN exclusive. If I'm gonna be real for a second, but those wrestlers in the ring. They did a good job. That dude with the weird hair, the bald guy with the I don't even know what you call that hairstyle, but the horseshoe or whatever. But it was. I get it. They're really like promoting Brian Cage. Like, do you kind of get like a Goldberg vibe the way they're booking him?
Oh, for sure. There's no doubt about this. This guy is next Goldberg.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm okay with it. A lot of people are complaining about it. It's like, give him a real feud already. Let somebody, beat on him. And I'm like, wait a second here. Y'all keep saying you want him to build a star. They finally say, you know what, we're going to build a star, and that star is going to be Brian freaking Cage, right? The guy that can literally do anything. And then it's like, no. We want to see him get beat up. Really? Really? That's what you want?
No. I agree. I 100% agree with you. I am totally for the way they're using him. It's way different than Goldberg. This guy has paid his dues. He should have been signed by TNA back in 2012 when it was TNA. This guy can do it all. I mean, literally do it all. And, he really hasn't had a legit feud. I don't know if you want to call the Bobby Lashley one a feud, but I mean, that's pretty credible, beating Bobby Lashley. So,
yeah. Yeah. And I'm sitting here thinking it's probably a good thing you didn't sign him back in 2012 because God only knows what they would have done to him.
Oh, yeah. Under the Pritchard, Hogan, Bischoff regime.
They probably would have had him, jobbing the West Briscoe or something like that.
Oh God. Now, Hogan would be, if he heard you, he'd be like, well, that's a hell of a deal, brother.
That's right. But I love what they're doing with Brian Cage. And by all means, please keep the belt away from him for as long as you can. It worked so well for Goldberg. Goldberg is still living off of that push.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
Let's let Brian Cage get the same treatment, please.
Yeah. Because when it finally happens, people will just be craving it. Don't push it. Moose needs it first before he does.
Oh, absolutely. Moose, and you know who else I want to see get the strap? And the timing with Survivor is going to be perfect. I want to see Johnny Impact get a run with the belt.
Oh, definitely. Now, I mean, with the Survivor stuff now that they're going to be promoting, I mean, just think if he wins it.
Oh, my God.
If he wins Survivor and then wins the Impact World title,
he's going to quit. He's going to quit.
Right. Well, not only that, he gets $1 million plus. I mean, that's pretty sweet, though.
They should pay him $1 million just to show up on the Survivor after show with the belt.
Oh, that would be great publicity. That's what Impact needs. Something like that. Seriously, that would be awesome. I will definitely be rooting for him big time now when I watch Survivor.
I look at it like this. There's likely to be half females on the team. Okay? He won't vote for himself. They won't vote for him. He'll get close to getting voted out by the men who are jealous of him every single week. Okay? But all he has to do is right before they go to Tribal Council, say, I remember that much, he just has to start, standing on his hands and doing push-ups or whatever you want to call them, handstands up and down with one hand, and spin around, okay? And the women will never vote him off. He has to vote the men off, and then the ladies off.
Oh, wow. That would be awesome. That'd be awesome.
I mean, that's what I would do if I was
That's
him.
what you got to do. Yeah, I mean, and his parkour skills, they're definitely going to come to play, too.
Oh, for sure. Sure, they're going to need him for the physical challenges. The dude's the most athletic beast you've ever seen in your life.
Oh, no kidding.
It's amazing. Now, speaking of athleticism, this next match, I think it was, I'm not sure if it was Josh or Don, and Hurls, you'll probably remember. They were talking about Drago, Areostar, and Fantasma, and they said they actually think DJZ, Andrew Everett, and Dezmond Xavier are the higher flyers.
I did hear that. Yes, I did hear that.
And you know what? They were right.
Yep.
Drago, Aerostar, and Fantasma. These are guys that can go. Okay? Andrew Everett was amazing in this match.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he literally did a moonsault and touched his toes going down just for fun. What are your thoughts on this match and this style of match in Impact Wrestling?
This match was like a AAA match you would see on Telemundo. It was definitely more Mexican style influence. It was a lucha rules, correct? I
It
believe.
was. It was.
And didn't they have a few of those in WCW? It kind of reminded me like when WCW would throw most of the luchadors out there and just tear the house down. Like, I know I say that a lot about Impact, but there's definitely similarities here. The match was very unique. It's something you don't really see a lot. And like some of the stuff they were doing, I was like, oh my goodness. Like, and when they said it looked like a video game, I believe Don Callis said that. It literally did look like a video game. This match was very unique. Some people may hate it. If you're like a wrestling purist, you may hate it. It was too many, spots for you. But I thought this match was really cool. And it's as weird as it is. We've seen a lot of X Division matches. This one was very different than those were.
So if you are a Ring of Honor fan, and I like to say that I am, but the truth is I don't get Ring of Honor anymore just because I don't get it. But if I did get it, I'd be watching it. Okay. Mm-hmm. And you're watching it because you like to watch those smaller athletic guys, right? And you wanna see the dives, and you want to see the moonsaults, and you want to see all the high flying action. And you turn on Impact Wrestling and see this. Are you getting action like that at Ring of Honor?
No, I don't think you are, because this was, like I said, it was more of a Mexican style match, the way they do the matches in Mexico. It was more of that. And you don't really get a lot of luchadors over in Ring of Honor. There's just not that many. They have a lot of high flyers in Ring of Honor. I'm not taking away anything from them, but this match was more of something you would see on AAA, but mix that with X Division, and this is what we got. We got pretty much the best of the best. You got the best of Mexico, AAA, and you got the best of Impact Wrestling. So it was a show stealer for sure. And I love the fact that DJZ, Andrew Everett, and Dezmond Xavier all came out with the matching attire. So I think that was kind of cool to kind of show some unity.
Yeah, that was great as well. This was just a really good show or match, but I think the key here is that Impact is making a very pointed attempt to go after the Ring of Honor type, fans, those that follow independent wrestling by doing the Twitch specials. Okay, those that want to be around wrestling all the time, the Twitch specials, the Pluto TV, the Twitch channel, and by featuring matches like this on Impact Wrestling. So to me, that was a nice, clear, deviation from the past where they just were not so interested in that, right?
Right.
And of course, the next match, how do you follow that? X Division match. So now we get 2 X Division matches, and they managed to feature 8 stars in 2 matches. This is how you do it, Impact Wrestling. We've been saying this for years here on the Heelcast, Hurls. Put them in multi-man matches and get them butts on TV.
Yep.
Our boy, Matt Sydal, defeats the Bone Warrior, right, from New Japan, Taiji Ishimori. Hurls, what you got for this one?
I actually really love Matt Sydal's, heel work. I mean, he's changing up his style. Like, he's still doing the flashy moves, but it's more ring psychology based, if you've been kind of noticing him do that. And I love the fact that he's been using that new finish. He's not really winning matches with the shooting star press ever since he's turned heel. So the new finisher, I don't know what it's called, but I love the fact that he's, playing more of a heel. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Matt Sydal really has never been a heel his entire career, at least that I can remember. His WWE run, he was always a face. I'm not sure about Ring of Honor. You might be the one to answer that. But I love the fact that Impact found a way to get him over as a heel, and I think it's working.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with his WWE run, but his Ring of Honor run, he was a face. And it's funny because I think you're absolutely correct here, and I hadn't thought about it, Hurls. This is why I love doing the show with you. You know, you're always dropping knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But my two favorite things about Matt Sydal were his ring entrance and the shooting star press, both which, let's face it, in a heel turn had to go. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. He has turned to more psychology based, and it's kind of neat to see the X Division title have more ring psychology and not just be spot monkey fest. And I really feel like by them doing that, they're actually elevating the title.
Oh, I agree. I think too, he's beginning to, you know, he's kind of, you know, he's got a lot of female fans. I think the females cheer for him, but you know, he's kind of starting to get on your nerves a little bit, and that's a good thing. Like, oh, you want to see somebody just come out there and just kick the crap out of him because he's getting way too full of himself and this whole third eye thing. But he's doing a good job, and he's elevating the title along with it. I remember when P.D. Williams had it back in 2004. He was a heel with Team Canada, and he always found a way to win. And when he finally lost it, it meant something. And meanwhile, it elevated the X Division title. So that's kind of where I want to see Matt Sydal. I want him to kind of keep this going.
Yeah, I agree with you. So I think it's nice that they needed him to be a heel here. Because they don't really have heels for that division either. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they need more characters down there.
Now, when you mentioned getting somebody to get the crap out of him, right? The next segment is Tommy Dreamer trying to talk some sense into Eddie Edwards.
Yes.
I mean, you know, Hurls, it's been a few weeks since you've been on. You gotta have some knowledge to drop here on the whole Eddie Edwards, Sami Callihan. I mean, this could be, like, in my opinion, the best thing, not just in wrestling right now, but in wrestling in quite some time. This is real, and it feels real.
Oh, man. I mean, it was – I just want to say, too, it, you know, with me trying to get caught up with Impact, that Florida trip really killed me. But I'm so happy I'm finally caught up with you guys now, and I can, you know, join the Heelcast week in and week out now. But this feud has been, like – it's reminded me of something from, like, Attitude Era. The way they've built this feud, it has just gone – there's been – and they've been keeping it fresh because there's just all these different dynamics that have been going after it. It almost feels like it's very over. I'm not going to say it's over like the Broken Hardys, how that whole thing kind of came, but you know how there was like so many different dynamics in that feud. Well, here I think it's the same way. Like now we're adding this new dynamic of Sami Callihan. You know, Tommy Dreamer's trying to tell him that, oh, it's over. You already won. You won the war. But clearly, you know, Sami Callihan with the whole creepy segment with the balloons, by the way, I thought that was pretty cool. But Sami Callihan, you know, he's playing mind games right now, and that's all he's doing. And he's trying to make Eddie go crazy, and it's awesome. And I think Eddie will go crazy. I don't know what that's going to mean. I don't know if – you know, there's so many different ways they can go with this feud, and that's why I'm really liking it. And, you know, the contest we had on ImpactAsylum.net with the whole booking challenge, I wrote a similar story that we're seeing. And I'm not saying Impact, you know, read that or anything, but I had a similar story with Alberto El Patron and Johnny Impact, where they did a lot of crazy stuff in like a hotel. And
I remember that Taya getting attacked in the hotel room.
Yes. And it's like that dynamic is what, you know, I really love in wrestling. So watching this, it's like, yes, this is what I'm talking about. Stuff like this, you know, go against the grain, and it just entices the feud that much more.
Now, you know who's getting credit for writing this and booking this feud, right?
I'm gonna guess and say it was Jimmy Jacobs, but I might be wrong.
Robert was saying that it's Chris Park Abyss. That he is the one that is booking this and producing this and doing, you know, the I hate to use the term producer, right? But he's like the agent behind it and booking it. And he's doing
a hell of a job.
Right?
Yeah.
Whoever's doing this, just keep doing this, right? Can we get you to do this for everything?
Well, hey, if you do another booking challenge and if they're reading our stuff, I'll gladly feed them more storylines if he somehow read this, because it's very similar to a storyline I wrote.
Well, I first of all, I do believe that they read that stuff. I have every reason to believe that they follow the site, they follow Impact Asylum, they follow the comments. Too many people have mentioned it in passing that the people in the office, a lot of times they got some time on their hands and they'll go and they'll check out the podcast, they'll check out Impact Asylum. So that does not surprise me in the least if they didn't read it. Now, whether or not the idea came from you, or he read it and it festered in his head, or he never read it at all, who knows? Who cares, right? The point is we're getting something that we enjoy,
Right.
And we need to do another booking challenge, by the way. We need to kick that back up again. Yeah,
maybe like fine tool it a little bit from the first time.
Yeah, no, we'll do it differently. Old school heel who ran it the last time, unfortunately, is out on a sabbatical, so might be a while before we can get another one kicked off. But unfortunately, we're gonna have another sabbatical coming up. We talked about it earlier. The news nobody wants to talk about, but Rosemary, right, has been written off for the near term anyway. And I got to say, Hurls, straight up, I've never seen anybody get thrown in a casket, have the coffin get closed, and written off of TV, and legitimately written off of TV, but still managed to look strong along the way, right? The way that they booked this. So I'm going to give this, and I know it wasn't a match, and we all know Rosemary wasn't able to do a match here. I'm going to give this a 5-star segment just because I don't think, given what they had to work with, they really could have done much more. And I think anybody that has a torn ACL that, I don't know, takes a panic switch to a table is far more man than I'll ever be, right?
Yeah, I can't believe she was able even to do what she was doing, to be honest with you. So, I mean, I'm a Milwaukee Bucks fan, okay, and we've had a star player who's had 2 ACLs, okay, and he can barely walk. So it's crazy to see, Rosemary, being able to do the stuff she's doing.
Yeah, it is pretty intense. And remember, you don't get to control all that stuff. I actually walked around hers. I don't know if you're aware of this, but I walked around with mine for almost 2 years before I had it fixed. I didn't even know it was torn.
Oh, jeez.
And what happens is that your muscles will grow, and they'll give you support. But she took a panic switch through a table with a torn ACL.
Could have easily re-aggravated it, even made it worse. That's a big risk.
It's one thing to walk. It's one thing to play a little volleyball. It's another thing to take a panic switch through a table off the ramp.
Oh, that was an awesome spot.
It was a great spot. It was terrifying, but it was a great spot.
Uh-huh. So
she's written off, and Su Yung is running wild, so to speak, right? To quote the Hawkster, Su Yung is running wild. It looks like she is going to be the new main heel in the division, at least for now, anyway. So where does this all lead? Are we going to get Allie and Su Yung to continue, and Allie's going to try and step up for Rosemary?
Yeah, I think so. I think where I see it going is I see Allie and Su Yung in some type of gimmick match at Slammiversary, and I think Su Yung takes the strap and just elevates her character and elevates her status in Impact Wrestling, and she's doing a hell of a job.
Yeah, no, she's definitely going to fill the role, at least for now. I don't think she's ever going to be Rosemary. I don't think it's even possible, right? And when Rosemary comes back, that is just going to be an epic moment in company history, right? But
I think she can be, Su Yung can be Kane and Rosemary can be Undertaker, which are both credible characters, and both. But obviously Kane is never going to be the Undertaker, and that's kind of how I view this a little bit. I'm not comparing the feud by any means. I mean, there's similarities to dark characters, but no, I think she can be a very, very credible character next to Rosemary, and those two can have almost a forever feud. Or heck, they could be the Sisters of Destruction.
They can go back and forth.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So there's lots to be excited about in the Knockouts division. And for whatever it's worth, we keep hearing about WWE claiming about this women's revolution. I just want to throw something out for the listeners here, Hurls. They can say what they will, but they had a show in Saudi Arabia, and did the women go to that show at all? Any matches?
None.
No. They stayed at home, and they were unhappy about it. Impact Wrestling didn't just put the women on the show. They didn't just put the women in the main event. They actually put a woman in the main event who was wrestling with a torn ACL.
Crazy.
Insane, right? Absolutely insane. So I just want everybody to think about, when you think about the women's revolution and you think about wrestling, think about Impact Wrestling. Think about what they've meant to women's wrestling over the years and how much better they treat their women than WWE does. And hey, you know what? WWE is light years ahead of where they were a few years ago, if we're going to be fair.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, Impact, they were the ones who brought the women's wrestling back in 2007. WWE was doing the diva stuff. Impact started the Knockouts division as an anti-diva division. Okay, that's when the women's wrestling revolution started.
Yep, exactly. So Hurls, that brings to the end of this show, right? Got a couple things to look forward to for this week. Apparently Don Callis has been assaulted by Sami Callihan, and they're going to have repercussions for Sami. Yeah,
that's what I saw that tweet.
So that's going to look very interesting. Again, a continuation of the feud with Eddie Edwards. And then the other thing is we got a world title match coming up this week, don't we?
We do. We have Eli Drake, the namer of dummies. He's cashing in his briefcase. He's doing it the gentleman way, not doing it after a match. He's going to be taking on Pentagon.
So all I have for you is, for all the folks out there that are convinced that Eli Drake is leaving Impact Wrestling because he only signed a 2-month extension, I want you to think about the following. They gave him new music, and that promo that he cut after the Penta Does Iowa show did not sound like a man that was leaving.
No, I didn't get that feeling.
Now, he could be going. I don't know, right? I don't know what I don't know. Mm-hmm. But here's what I will tell you. If he does go, I'm going to be happy for him because he treated the company the way the company was supposed to be treated from end to end.
Yep.
And he has done nothing but be a, complete class act and do exactly what you would hope that he would do. So, Hurls, final thoughts for this week, my friend?
Well, I enjoyed Impact. You kind of sounded like you didn't care for the tapings, or you did care for this Impact?
It was up and down. I love the 6-man tag match, but some of the things just aren't flowing the same way. The matches themselves have been great. I just don't feel the flow of the tapings like I did the last time. The last time we had tapings, every match seemed to mean something. Every match was well built. Everything, all the cards fell into place, right? This time it seems kind of haphazard.
Yeah, I think some of that's because we don't really have a big pay-per-view at these tapings. Because let's not forget, we're going to Windsor before Slammiversary. So that's probably where you're going to see, probably the best stuff they're going to do in the next coming months. Not saying this stuff isn't good, because I've enjoyed it. But I thought it was another solid Impact. And when you end with how they ended it, you're going to make those viewers want to see what the hell happens next, because that was some good stuff. And also, I just want to answer a question. Some of the shots that were fired at me 2 weeks ago. Robert does wrestling. Wrestling Robert. You damn right I have a TNA tattoo. I kiss it every night before I go to bed. So,
don't even tell us where that tattoo is, buddy. I do not want to know where that tattoo is.
For my eyes only, my friend.
Your poor wife. That's all I gotta say, man. Your poor wife.
God bless her heart for putting up with me.
Oh man, you get TNA on one side, Impact on the other side.
Oh yeah, I mean the company's changed names. I got a GFW somewhere in there too.
Should be like me and just change your name.
Well, the tattoo removal costs a lot, so I just got to keep it up,
Exactly. Oh, the visuals. All right, my friend. Was that all you have for this week?
I got nothing else.
No, I got nothing else, too. Look, for all of you listening and watching us live on YouTube, thanks for sticking with us this week. It's been a pleasure having you. It's been a pleasure being here. On behalf of my good buddy Hurls, my main man, the entire Heelcast, all the folks over at Impact Asylum, everybody, have a great week, and we'll catch you next time.